Órale, Cholo, trucker, mass movies and shows, and man, we got a million miles away. Okay, so I'm subscribed to a couple of channels, man, that have to deal with movies and everything. And one of those channels does nothing but trailers of upcoming movies. And that is the only way I found out about this movie. I have not seen anybody talk about this movie. I went ahead and made a reaction to the trailer. I don't know, quite a few weeks ago. And ever since then, I was kind of blown away from the trailer, man. And I'm like, damn, I've never heard of this story, man. The story of Jose Hernandez, who goes into outer space. So, now the movie's out. I went ahead, I watched it with my beautiful, crazy, loca wife, and let me tell you guys what I think about it. A little bit of spoiler alerts, if you guys just, giving you guys a little bit of a heads up. I'll do my best not to spoil it for you, Vatos, man, or Highness. But hey, let's go ahead and let's get into it. So, basically, man, it's what you exactly what you see in the trailer. Okay, I will leave the trailer linked in the comment section. It'll be pinned, so it'll be the first comment you guys see. If you guys want to check out the trailer. Basically, it's what you see in the trailer. Okay, it's this family that's down in Mexico, and they come up to California for work. And their plan is to make money here in the good old US of A, baby, and then buy a house down in Michoacan, right? So they go ahead, they move up, and they're working out in the fields, man. They're working out in the Central Valley. They're moving around, okay, but ultimately they end up just staying in Stockton, California, man. And a teacher sees that. See, I don't want to give too much, but anyways, one of the teachers sees in one Mr. Jose Hernandez as a little kid that, hey, this is a smart kid. This kid has a future. And she tries talking to her parents, talking about like, hey, you know what? Listen, and I like the analogy that she gives. She's all like, look, what happens to a tree if you plant it and you keep taking it out and then planting it somewhere else, and then you take it out and then go plant it again somewhere else, and then you pick it up, get it out of there, and then go plant it? How well is that tree going to grow? And let me tell you guys something, man. Just on a personal level, I completely agree with what that teacher is saying. As somebody who moved around a lot, okay, there is really no hometown that I really have, homie, on a personal level. Okay, we picked up and we moved around a lot, and every time you pick up and you move, you rip some roots, man, and then you go and you try to replant somewhere else, and it's just not quite the same. So I completely agree, man, with what the teacher was saying there. So anyway, eventually the parents, again, spoiler alert here, the parents, but again, not too much of a spoiler, but the parents are like, you know what, let's go ahead, let's stick around and let's make it happen here in Stockton, right? And this movie, it jumps around from different dates. All right, so you just gotta keep up with the movie. um so basically he grows up there. He grows up, he graduates high school, I think in 1985, I believe it was. The movie starts in 69, I think. And in 85, so the movie moves, man. It moves. You got to keep up with it. All right. You got to pay attention to the years and just see the differences in his life, because yeah, the movie just moves, Holmes. Um he graduates high school in 85, and he eventually he's got this dream, and he goes to work. He's a nerd, okay? Make no doubt about it. The vato is a straight nerd, and his primo knows it. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows that he's a nerd. Okay, now he is a farm worker. All right, that's for damn sure. He is a farm worker, but everybody knows that, hey, this dude's smart, man. He's a nerd, and he applies his brain and his mind to what it is that he wants to do. And he's always been fascinated with stars and going into space, right? So he's somewhat of an engineer, and he goes through the struggle. Again, you got to remember, this is the mid 1980s, so of course there's a little bit of the struggle. He's the only one that's raza there. Everybody's white. and they're looking at him like, hey, who are you? SA, right? So he goes through those struggles, people thinking that he's the janitor, and people not really wanting to hear what he has to say until he actually starts proving himself. And it's like, hey, you know what? This dude has a brain on him. This Vato man, when he applies himself, when he dedicates himself to something, he gets it done. Right. So he starts proving himself like that, man. And he's applying for the space program. He wants to go to NASA, and they keep on rejecting him. And through the midst of all this, he meets his lady, who soon, later on becomes his wife. And this girl is a pillar in his life. Okay. She pushes him. Let me go ahead and say this, man, to all the ladies. All right. Women have the power to make a man stronger or to tear him down. It's up to you what you want to do with the man. All right. So, and men, it's up to you. I don't want to get all into that. But in this case, man, she really pushed him. She pushed him. Now, don't get me wrong. This movie has a lot of struggles in family, in familia. All right. Trying to get accepted, having kids, balancing out, because while it's a movie, it's only like a 2-hour movie. But I mean, we're talking about year after year after year after year. This movie takes place in what, like 3, 4, something around like 3 decades, somewhere around that, man, to cram it all into 2 hours. Just imagine everything that was going on, and they're just showing little snippets here and there of what was really going on, man. And my goodness, Holmes, the struggles to try to get to where he got to. Eventually, uh, he gets accepted to the space program, to NASA. So he's got to get up and move, right? Because this whole time he's still in Stockton, he's still California, he's still in Killer Cali, homie, right? So now he's got to get up and he's got to move. He's got to leave his family. He's got to leave everybody behind. Obviously, not his wife, not his kids. He takes, I believe, his parents, and I believe he takes his in-laws. But I love the relationship that he has with his primo. His primo, I forgot his name, but he's the main character in the movie, the tax collector. But anyway, I love the relationship that he has with him. And what happens later on in the movie, it's sad, man. And I like the fact that it's like, hey, Holmes, you know what? You stay focused on the goal. All right. And this is how you're going to honor everybody in the family. I love everything in this movie when it comes to the cultura, to the culture, to where the dad is like, hey, let me see your hands. With these hands, we're going to make things happen. To where he is sitting in the shuttle looking at his hands like, okay, I mean, everything. Now, this is based on a true story. Why have I never, ever, ever heard of this story ever in my life before? Now, I can go on a little rant, but I'm not going to. I'm just simply going to stick on the movie, okay? I just want to say, Holmes, why have I never? Why is this story not to be found anywhere, man? It's like you got to go out and seek this story. I have never in my life ever heard of this story until I ran into the trailer of this movie a few weeks ago, if you guys are, depending when you guys are watching this. But anyway, back to the movie, man. Look, it is it's tugging at your heart. It is. My beautiful crazy local wife cried a few times. Good tears, by the way. It is a very powerful, very inspirational movie. He is a migrant farm worker who uses his brain, gets accepted into the space program. And even while at the space program, he's told right there, it's not a guarantee he's going to get out there, Holmes. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're part of NASA now, but that doesn't mean squad. That doesn't mean you're going to get out there. But my goodness, man, what a story of triumph. What a story of, just fortitude, resilient. I mean, my goodness, Holmes, how much more just can I say, man, about year after year, decade after decade of just sticking with it to make it happen, to make this goal, to achieve this. This dream starts when he doesn't even have kids. And when he achieves his dream, looks like some of his kids are even adults, So, great movie. The acting was really good. Michael Pena did a phenomenal job, man. What an inspirational movie. What a badass movie. And let me just go ahead and say this, okay? I don't really want to get too off topic here, Holmes, because I want to stick with this movie. But you know what? If this movie is inspiring, which it is, and it inspired me even more. All right. I don't really get into the whole super duper viva la raza kind of stuff. I'm proud, don't get me wrong, homie, but I don't really get into that. I don't live and die on that hill. But my goodness, dog, watching this movie, it's like I gotta be calling people out, including myself. Like, come on, man. What is it that we're doing? The sacrifices that his family made so he can do this. That was another thing that I should point out in this movie. They sacrificed his mom, his dad. They all sacrificed, man, their goal to go buy a house, go back down to Michoacan to buy that house. They sacrificed it to put it into his education. But how inspirational. And don't just watch this movie and be like, yeah, Holmes. For all the raza out there, man, that watches, don't just watch this movie and be like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Not Charlie, homie. That's time for you to look in the mirror and be like, okay, Holmes, now what am I going to do? What's my dream? What's my goal? Let me go after what I want in my life now. Don't just look at this movie, buy a t-shirt and wear it and just be like, yeah, you know what? That's who we are. Not Charlie, homie. Go look in the mirror and be like, okay, now what am I doing? What am I going to do? All right, I'm going to get off my soapbox. Look, Holmes, this movie, A Million Miles Away, good movie. It is on Prime. You guys can go check it out on Prime. I highly recommend this movie. My goodness, dog. Again, Holmes, what a time. What a time. Okay, with Blue Beetle, Flaming Hot, A Million Miles Away. Damn, dog. You know what? What a time, dog. What a time for the raza, homie. Serio, dog. And I rarely ever talk about, talk like this about, yeah, the brown and the raza and all that. I rarely ever talk like this, man. I'm just simply putting forward, dog. What a time. Stop with the complaining. Watch this movie. Let it inspire you and stop with your complaining. Go out there and make it happen for you. A Million Miles Away. Total Trucker, M.A.S. Movies and Shows. I'll catch you guys on next one.